We do want to turn now to Russia's war on Ukraine. Kyiv is facing growing pressure to accept the United States' 28-point peace plan to end the conflict. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy addressed his country earlier today.
Зараз один з найважчих моментів нашої історії.
Zelenskyy asked Ukrainians to remain united in what he describes as one of the most difficult moments in their history. He also prepared them for the possibility of a difficult choice Ukraine now faces, either losing its dignity or losing a key partner, the United States. The CBC's Crystal Gumansing is closely following these developments for us from London.
There has been a lot of movement really in the past 24 hours, including a video that was just released by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. It was in Ukrainian, but a few lines coming forward from that saying specifically that Ukraine will work fast and constructively with the United States. I'll go into a little bit more detail of what the president had to say, but as far as that 28-point plan, much of it, and officially the documentation has not been released, but a lot of it has come out slowly over the past 24 hours or so in different media reports. A number of those details have previously been rejected, such as Ukraine giving up territory, including territory that Russia doesn't currently actually hold. Also, issues about NATO, Ukraine joining NATO in the future, and even having NATO troops in Ukraine as a part of a security guarantee. We did hear yesterday from Ukraine's deputy UN ambassador at the UN Security Council, laying out clearly that there are a number of red lines that Ukraine just won't cross.
There will never be any recognition, formal or otherwise, of Ukrainian territory temporarily occupied by the Russian Federation as Russian. Our land is not for sale. Ukraine will not accept any limits on its right to self-defense or on the size and capabilities of our armed forces. Nor will we tolerate any infringement on our sovereignty, including our sovereign right to choose the alliances we want to join.
Okay, so there we heard exactly what Ukraine will not accept. We did hear from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy saying that that Ukraine won't let Russia accuse Ukraine of derailing the peace process. He also said that Ukraine faces a choice of losing a major partner or Ukraine's dignity. The major partner there, obviously, the United States. And he also said that he expects a lot of political pressure in the coming days. Clearly, that pressure is going to be from the United States. We know from the very beginning of his presidency, his second term as president, the American president has said he wanted to end the war. But there is a lot of concern that what we see on the table right now is very lopsided, that it favors Russia, the invading country, instead of giving any real support or credibility to Ukraine to actually determine how this war will end and what Ukraine needs to actually come to the table for the peace agreement. So there is an expectation for a counter-offer to be made, and we do know that there have been calls so far between Zelenskyy as well as the U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance. So no doubt that work is already in the process to come up with a counter-offer, Arthi.
And Crystal, there's also been lots of reaction to this peace plan and what it needs to have to ensure Ukraine's sovereignty. So take us through some of those points.
Yeah, we've heard for almost the last 4 years now that this isn't just about Ukraine's security, it is about European security. And we had some strong comments from the European Union's foreign policy chief, Kaja Kallas. She said today that this is a very dangerous moment for all, that we want to end the war, but how it ends matters, that Russia has no legal right whatsoever to any concessions from the country it invaded. Ultimately, the terms of any agreement are for Ukraine to decide. So very clear support for Ukraine there. That is not a surprise. The EU has clearly been on the side of Ukraine from day one. We also heard from UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer really reiterating support for Ukraine and the Ukrainian leadership.
Now, we all want a just and lasting peace. That's what the President of America wants. That's what we all want. And so we need to work from where we are to that end. But the principle that Ukraine must determine its future under its sovereignty is a fundamental principle.
Ukrainian allies will be talking more about this deal, a counter-offer, on the sidelines of the G20, where a number of the allies are, in fact, getting together in person.
The CBC's Crystal Gomansing in London. Thank you.